What's going on, guys? Extremis Models here, back at you with another video. In today's exciting episode, we're going to be going over my completed 1978 Ford EV-100 pickup. Definitely a fun build, as always, a fun build. Really unconventional approach with this one as well. Not a build type that I've done before. The truck was one of the big Acme projects that I had from last year, and I think I finished it like a week or so before the show, and been really happy with it ever since. Had it at a few shows since then, and it's been met with some really good reception from people. Didn't think that an electric swapped F-100 would really be something that would be popular, but you know, I love it for the most part. The people that have seen it love it, and all in all, it's just a really fun, clean build. And you know, without further ado, guys, we're gonna get right on into the video. All right, guys, so here it is, our completed 1978 Ford EV-100. So first off, I want to talk about what inspired me to take this build on and you know, to try to make it happen. For most of my life, I've been a really big fan of Jay Leno and Jay Leno's Garage. His YouTube channel is really awesome. Love watching his videos and seeing all the really cool stuff that he gets to drive and look over. And you know, it's just a really awesome show. If you guys are you know, into seeing a multitude of different vehicles, you know, go check out Jay Leno's Garage on YouTube. Here a while back ago, he did a feature with Ford where they brought down a late 70s dent side Ford F-Series pickup truck, and it was based on the Ford Mustang Mach-E, so it used all of the powertrain and drivetrain from the Mach-E and the body of an old dent side Ford pickup. And they called it the Illuminator. I think that's awesome. Ford's got a chain of crate engines called the Illuminator, you know, because they're all aluminum block. But they called this one the Illuminator with an E, as it's an EV vehicle. And I got to watching the video, and I thought, you know, it would be really awesome to try to create that in scale and make a model out of it. The only issue with that is we don't have a Ford Mustang Mach-E model, so I had to do some improv and go a different route, and the only other route that I could take was Iceman Collections. So what we did, ordered up one of Iceman Collections Tesla EV crate engines, and it comes with this little, like a power conditioner and this little control box or whatever, and he sends you a nice battery pack and, you know, some other stuff. But I got to looking at, you know, all the parts after I got it in the mail, and the one little battery I didn't think would be enough to really power a truck like this. So I got up with Miguel at devildog.games or hobbyworks.com. I'll leave a link in the description to his website and to his Instagram page. You guys can go check out some of his STL files. I got up with Miguel and said, hey, you know, I'd really like to design a battery pack to go in the bed of this truck. And the battery pack that he came up with is of a modular design. Each of these packs are separate from one another, and they can be combined to create a bigger battery pack. They can be stacked. They're all nice and uniform. They come in this really nice tray that is separate from the packs themselves, so you can assemble the packs separately, paint them, and then sit them in this tray. And he printed the tray off using my bed dimensions between the tailgate and the back of the bed here, and from wheel well to wheel well, so that this would not be too wide to go on the bed, and so that it would not stick out of the bed in any way. I originally was going to do a tonneau cover on this truck, and I kind of changed my mind within like the last week that I was doing assembly on it, because I needed to have it ready for Acme last year. But so that's our powertrain for the truck, is a Iceman Collections Tesla EV crate engine, and then a nice Hobby Works battery pack. And I'm sure you can find this this battery pack on Miguel's website. Like I said, I'll be sure to shoot a link down in the description for you guys to go check that out. Rounding out some of the more custom work on the truck, scratch built a chassis. Obviously, this truck started out as an AMT Firestone Ford kit, and if you've ever built that kit, you know that the chassis it's bad. It's really bad. The cab and the bed don't like to line up out of the box, and besides, I wanted to do a short bed instead of a full long wheel camper special bed, so it just was all the more reason to scratch build a chassis for it. And then to keep the truck simple, I got on eBay and ordered up these really nice tubular subframes with independent suspension and differentials. So the front and the rear are exactly the same thing. The engine and the front diff are now attached, so the truck is technically all-wheel drive. And then just to round out some of the more custom stuff underneath, I added these nice support structures under here to kind of just to, you know, to strengthen the chassis. And it also looks really cool being all braced up like this, especially when you look at it from like this angle here. Let's see, the grill, the factory grill out of the AMT kit, I went in and milled all of the interior sections out, smoothed it over, and then used some leftover metal mesh from the Nighthawk build to give us a really nice looking grill. As far as the bumpers, I did away with front and rear bumpers and did some really nice styrene strip here, and then just smoothed the corners out. There's still a seam line here, which would imply that these would be, you know, if this truck were real, you'd be able to pull it. You'd be able to pull it off. And I think it really just adds to the cleanliness of the truck. And then go around the back, and you can see where I did the same thing across the rear of the truck, except this time I did it with some plasticard, because I needed to be able to roll it to fit this contour at the back of the bed. The tires and wheels are resin as well, and those are from Iceman Collections. These are the retro low profile Ford steel wheels, and they're like a three-piece wheel with a separate tire, which allowed me to paint the barrel, the hub, and the center caps all separate, which made, you know, finishing these wheels out so much easier. Hats off to whoever designed them. You know, it just, like I said, it made painting these a breeze. And you know, I hope to see these back on his website at some point, because I'd love to buy several more sets of them. The interior, I'll show you something here. Get out something to point with. You guys look through the front windshield, you will notice that this dash is not a factory F-Series dash, and that is because, in keeping with the inspiration of the real truck, or the truck that it's based on, I pulled parts from an old Mustang kit, if you could call it 2012 old, or 2010 old. I used a dash, or a dash top, from a Ford Mustang kit, and then I cut the infotainment out of it as well. The entire center section is from a Ford Mustang, and then the steering wheel is from a Mustang as well. It uses the original Ford pickup, like gauge faces and The glove box over here is from the original Ford dash, and then I just added some stuff right down in there along the bottom to bulk the dash up and make it look a little bit beefier and more modern. And then used a piece of styrene tube for our steering column. To get the engine and transmission to fit, I had to scratch build a trans tunnel. Obviously the transmission tunnel that's in this interior tub is really small, and it would not have been able to accommodate this particular trans. So I scratch built the trans tunnel, and then I'd planned on ordering some seats, and my buddy Brian over at Got Fuel's Model Car Garage offered to print me off some seats, send them to me, and boy, they look good in this thing. They're a 3-piece seat. Well, the bucket itself is 1 piece, and then on either side, if you can see down there in between, or on the outside of the seat belts in between the trans tunnel and the seat, there are the mounts, and those 2 pieces, there's 1 per side on each seat, and it makes installing these seats in an interior tub extremely easy, because all you have to do is find a way to just barely. I used blue tack to tack the mounts to the bottom of the seat, and then I positioned the seats where I want them in the tub and just super glued the mounts to the interior tub, and then you can pull the seat and the blue tack away from the mounts. And then finishing off the interior, I used some really nice photo etch seat belts from Gopher Racing, and that pretty much rounds out the interior work. The custom work, as you can see, everything's wired. I went in and just pigtailed the battery packs together. Your main charge wire is here, and it runs to the gas cap, and then this is just a block that you know, would run under the chassis and back up through the engine bay and everything. As far as colors go, you guys know at this point that I'm a huge fan of Mr. Surfacer products, or anything that Mr. Hobby does. So the final color coat comes courtesy of Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 White. Fun fact about this, the finish on this truck, and I'll get to what I was going to tell you guys in just a second. The accent color is Tamiya XF6 Copper. The original plan was to, you know, do our Mr. Surfacer, because it's a really good, strong primer, and it was the shade of white that I wanted, and to shoot the copper, you know, around the window and down the sides of the truck, the grill, wheels, yada, yada, yada. And I was going to go in, and I was going to gloss the truck out and, you know, try to wet sand it and smooth it up and get it to look, you know, pretty and shiny. But after I finished it up, you know, finished up doing the copper at least, I saw how this kind of satin, this is advertised as a flat color, but it is, as you can see, it's more of a satin. It's got some sheen to it. After seeing how this copper looked with its mild sheen against that flat white, I could not bring myself to gloss coat this truck because it looked so clean. It's like, it's almost like a silky kind of look. Like the truck is, it looks like it's made out of just white silk. I don't know how to explain it, but it looks so clean. I didn't want to take away from that, and I didn't want to run the risk of having anything in the paint, especially considering this truck was finished only about a week or so before Acme last November, and I didn't want to run the risk of ruining the paint job, not being able to take a truck that I'd worked on, you know, had really been working on diligently up until, you know, it was time to leave for the show. So that's a finished product. Again, not a really complicated build. It's a pretty easy truck to, for me at least, pretty easy truck to conceptualize and to come up with. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for the next video. I'm considering maybe doing the Mobius Models 72 F250 that I just finished. There's really not a lot going on with that particular truck aside from the paint job. The other truck is completely box stock minus, you know, the distributor and some other stuff that I added to it. But and we may get to that in a future video. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this one. I do have an EXO car finished build video coming at some point. Got some airbrushing here to do today, and yeah, you know, that's, like I said, that's going to do it for this one. If you guys like the video, please subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, hit the little bell so you guys stay up to date with all of my new videos coming out. Please like, comment, and share, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care.
Yeah.